Do you feel you were born for more? Get ready to uncover your God-given purpose so you can impact the world with your gifts, your talents, and your story. Nickilee Gurovich is a lifestyle health coach for busy moms who truly desire ultimate health in every aspect of their lives. She's the creator of the brand The Healthy Happy Mommy and the host of the Healthy Happy Mommy podcast. When she's not writing or podcasting, you can most likely find her out hanging with her family's 18 chickens in the backyard of their cozy home in suburban New Jersey, where she lives with her handsome husband and 3 kids. Welcome, Nickilee. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, I'm so excited to be able to connect with you. And I think I might have seen you on Instagram first, and it got me really curious because I love your branding and everything that you do. But before we get into telling everybody what you're doing now, give us a little bit of a backstory of how you got there and tell us where you started and where you came from.
Okay, so yeah, you probably did find me on Instagram. I feel like most people are finding me there first, which is cool. I love social media and how it brings people together that you would never know about. So 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder that totally rocked my world. It took me from thinking that I was healthy and nothing was wrong with me because I grew up playing sports all my life. I was a very healthy person all throughout my life. I was a mom of a young, I think he was 3 at the time. So, it just totally changed my life when my doctor said that I was going to have to be on medication for the rest of my life, possibly even end up in a wheelchair if I didn't take care of my health, lose control of my bladder and just all kinds of stuff. He definitely tried, I don't know.
He scared you.
He scared me. He scared me. And I was 28 at the time. And so when that all happened, I felt scared. I felt despair. I felt where do I go? What do I do? But one thing that I did know is that this was not going to be the last straw for me. I wasn't going to just roll over and take that diagnosis. And so luckily at the time, I had already been a Christian. I was not a Christian before. I was not a Christian growing up. But luckily at this time in my life, I was a Christian. And so I believe that God used this moment in time to shape the rest of my life and to kind of help me bring me into what I was supposed to do. Because now that I look back on my life and I see this moment in time completely turn the table and see this is where I was before, this is where I am now, and I can see God's hand on the whole thing because now I'm very happy to say that I am completely symptom-free. I've put my disease in remission. I have nothing. There's nothing wrong with me. All of my tests have come back clear. And because of what I went through, I was forced to learn everything about health and wellness, how to heal my body, how to lower stress, how to fix my mindset, how to use food and holistic nutrition to just get healthy. And that carried over into being a healthier mom, showing my family what it was like to be healthy, taking care of ourselves, just all around, just low stress, happier, joyful kind of lifestyle that creates that ultimate health that we're all looking for. And because of this, I was just posting it out and telling people about how I've been changing, and people were asking me for help. And that kind of created the brand, The Healthy Happy Mommy, because now people come to me for their help and they ask me, how do I do this? How do I overcome this challenge? Maybe it's a new mom who is looking to get her body back, or maybe it's a mom who has an autoimmune disorder like I do, and she wants help. She wants something to push her in the right direction. And so I've been blessed to have a podcast and a book and the social media platform that I have to get the word out that you can, through faith in God and through God's power in your life, can change your body. You can heal yourself. You can do what you want to do in your life, even if it looks really scary, even if the timing doesn't seem right. It can work out as long as you stick to your guns. You don't let people just tell you whatever, they want to tell you, and you just keep going every single day.
So would you say that based on because you gave me a little bit of a backstory when we were talking earlier, and how you actually grew up feeling like you, because of lots of hurts and being wounded as a child, that you had these protective mechanisms. So as an
Yeah.
adult, you mentioned that you had this almost this sarcastic humor that was a way of like deflecting and keeping people away, and it was kind of a way of trying to avoid stress. But you eventually found that when you had your disease, that's when things imploded, right? Because wouldn't you say, I
Yeah.
think a lot of Christian women, myself included, we think, what is wrong with me? What is wrong? Why do I have these issues? And that, sometimes it's the obvious, like maybe you're not getting enough sleep, or maybe, you stressing your to-do list is way too big. I mean, what have you found as being, like if we started thinking about where you were then and where you are now, what was those pivotal moments that really helped you take ownership over what you were doing? What do you remember a particular time?
Yeah, totally stress. Stress is 100% right. I grew up in a very stressful environment, very traumatic environment that just caused me to grow up faster than I needed to. I was the oldest child, so a lot of responsibility came down on me, and I was thrown into results and responsibilities mode. And if the situation wasn't changing, I was blaming myself. So I was carrying a lot of stress and a lot of just like turmoil on my back, thinking that
You're a
I
fixer.
couldn't change.
You
Yeah,
were the fixer.
yeah,
I'm the same way. Eldest child, same story. It's like, oh, is this my bio? Really? Oh no, it's yours. So yeah, exactly. But you create these habits, right? Would you say that that's kind of like these? You mentioned earlier, which is I think is a key word, is the mindset habits that you have to
yes.
change.
Exactly. I mean, my ability to change my mindset, I actually have a master's in psychology, so that helped as well because that helped to show me like, okay, you are being crazy right now. Like you're thinking like crazy, and this is not how you're supposed to be thinking. And like I was able to kind of see outside myself, which is I think is a gift in general because people don't normally see how they're acting. They can see their faults in other people, but it's very
Mm,
hard to see faults in yourself, right? So
mm.
for me, it's a gift and a curse because I can tell when I'm acting like I shouldn't be, but then I'm like, man, it's like so obvious for myself now. So yes, getting your mindset right, getting understanding that it's not the end of the world. Like little things are not the end of the world. And I think a lot of the problem with Christian women, especially, is that we have this mold that we think we have to fit into.
Mm.
And it has to be this perfect church going woman who doesn't do anything wrong. She doesn't get mad. She doesn't overreact. She, seeks God out first thing in the morning. She never like loses her temper with her kids. She's perfect.
She's Miss
She always
Perfect,
has,
right? Yeah.
yeah, she always has her act together. She feeds her kids the right things. And like, that's just not the case. And
Mm.
unfortunately, with social media, we have constant highlight reels coming at us and at us
Yeah.
and at us and showing us, oh, look how perfect everyone else is because that's their highlight reel. But we see the behind the scenes hot mess express that we are.
Yeah.
And we're like, I can never be like that. I can
Yeah.
never be that
So it's kind
person.
of like a unattainable level of perfection that none of us can ever aspire to. And here's the truth is that we might mask it for a while, and this is why I feel like, us talking about our faith is important because when my world came crashing in, what I really realized is when you take all that other stuff away, what you really have is what you believe. Because if you
Yes.
believe something, you can make it happen, and you know that if God is there to help you. And
Yes.
would you say that you were a bit of a control freak?
Would I? And
And
I
how
wouldn't
did you
say that
work through that?
I wouldn't say that I was a control freak. I would say that I'm still
You're
somewhat of a
recovering.
control
We're
freak.
recovering.
Yeah. Admittedly, I just have new control issues now. Now it's like control about food instead of like other things. No, yes, I do know that I have control issues, but I think it goes back to me being the oldest child in a situation that I couldn't control. So now I want to control everything, right? But that also shows me that I know this about myself, right? And I think that's part of the biggest thing that we can understand when we change our mindset is that you are not going to just change overnight. You are never going to just be like, wake up one day and be like, I'm better. Everything's better. I'm totally fine now. You're always going to have stuff that you need to fix as you go. But I think the biggest thing that you can do to improve your mindset is just forgive yourself for the stuff that you've already done. Forgive yourself for who you are and what you've done wrong and the things that bother you, and say, this is me. God knows me. He created me like this. So he can fix me and he knows what to do with me and my mess. So when I act like, when I'm going crazy and I'm acting out of control, say, God, you help me in this, because you're the one that made me this way. So you know how to handle
fault. You're going to deal with it, right?
Yeah, like, you deal with it, God. Like, this is you. You know how to handle me. But just realizing that, like, I think a big part of control is the result. Like, we're very attached to the result of whatever it is. So like, people want to control their weight, right? You're attached to the result of how many pounds the scale says that you are. So that's a huge control problem for people, especially women. So right then and there, let go of the result of the number. Stop focusing on the number that you want to be, and just start focusing on how you feel when you start to lose weight. Like, you don't weigh yourself, just look at your clothes. How do they feel? How do you look in the mirror? How do you actually feel in your skin? And that starts to shift the mentality of, like, control by the number instead of just being at peace with the journey.
And wouldn't you say that it'd be more like it's the baby steps, right? Because as you said, it doesn't take you overnight that I'm fine. It's a process of how we grow and how we mature. And the Lord's like that. If you look at nature, nothing happens overnight. There's seasons. Sometimes
Right.
things take slow. But so if we had to take it to a really actionable tips, because you said, okay, we don't want to obsess about the numbers. So whether it's social media following, whether it's your bank account, or whether it's your health, how can we look at it and take those baby steps? What would give us those first few wins?
So when we're talking about achieving goals and kind of, trying to achieve something, we want to think that the first thing to do is to come up with a small win, right? So you want to be able to have small, actionable, attainable things that you can start to build your confidence on. And once you see that, oh, I can do these little small things, then all of a sudden your confidence gets boosted and you think, oh, I can do big things. So whenever I tell somebody, if they come to me and say, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds, I'm like, okay, let's start with something small. Like, maybe we want to wake up 5 minutes earlier in the morning, because when you wake up 5 minutes earlier, for example, now you have 5 extra minutes to maybe work on a gratitude routine or a journal entry that talks about, like, your gratitude for the day, so that you can ultimately fix your mindset, get your mindset right for the day. Or maybe you can do a 5 minute workout in the morning. So that's what I start off with, something very small. So, like, I would say, for the person listening right now, if you're looking for a small attainable win right off the bat, is to get your mindset right. That's the very first thing. So what I would want you to do is set your alarm for 5 to 10 minutes early in the morning. Don't snooze it. Wake up immediately. Go to your journal. Don't go to your phone. Go to your
Oh,
journal.
that's a good tip.
Leave it next to your bed. Grab it right away instead of grabbing your phone. In fact, you shouldn't even be sleeping with your phone in the bedroom. That's for another story, but that is number one. But grab a piece of paper, pen, journal, and what I want you to do is write down 3 things that you're grateful for right off the bat. If you think of more, you can, but at least 3 things. And then just give yourself a minute or two to focus on the 3 things. Really feel the gratitude for those things, because one of the main reasons why people are holding on to body fat is because of high stress levels, because the chemical cortisol holds stress onto the body, specifically in the belly area. And because we're such a stressed out society, most people are overweight and they don't know why. So a body that is in a state of gratitude can't also be in a state of stress at the same time. It's physically impossible. So if you start your mindset off the right way with gratitude, you're not going to start off in a stressed out state. And right off the bat, you're starting your day off properly, burning fat in a positive mindset, and that automatically will start you off good to go for the day.
Exactly, especially like if you're a busy mom, like I've got 3 kids as well, and even though you feel like, oh, just those 5 more minutes, let me just snooze, what happens is you get into the cycle, right? And it's almost like everything happens, you know, the dog food gets knocked over, the child is late for school, and then the whole day is ruined, right? So that is awesome with the first 5 minutes. And I love it how you say, that you can't be grateful and unhappy at the same time. It's just
Exactly.
impossible. So what would be your next tip?
So the next tip is once you're up and you've already journaled the three things, I always recommend drinking a huge glass of water. Have that also prepared by your nightstand or in your bathroom. So what I do is I wake up, go out of my bedroom into my bathroom. I drink a bunch of water and do my journaling exercise. So once you drink a bunch of water, what that's doing is that's giving your body an inner bath. So it's starting your digestive process going. The other reason why people feel sluggish in the morning is because they're dehydrated, because obviously you've been sleeping all night long. And so your brain has been going through a lot of processes to clean itself out. That's the most restorative period for our bodies to clean itself out and detox itself, is during the night. So if we're going to be dehydrated, so we want to fill our bodies up with good clean water, and then we're getting our digestive process working, so we're not feeling sluggish. It automatically boosts our energy. And after you've drank your water, I want you to move your body. So that's huge, 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 huge. What the gift that I'm giving away with this summit is a 5-minute workout. So everyone can grab this, but you don't have to do this workout. You can do whatever you want, even if it's just light stretching or just some sort of like breathing or just moving your arms and legs, just whatever
like
it is.
Jumping jacks or stretches or something.
Anything. Stretches, lunges, jumping jacks. If you go out for a walk, it depends on, everyone's different because everyone's lifestyle is different. So whatever you can do, but moving your body first thing in the morning gets your heart rate up. It gets your stress levels down. It gets your metabolism flowing. It gets just your organs and your joints all flowing positively. And it automatically boosts the endorphins, which will put you in a happier state first thing in the morning.
So you reckon that's better than a cup of coffee?
Yeah, you're like backflowing your day with good, positive things first thing in the morning before you even pick up your phone, before you even hit the car, before you get to work, you're already like full of all this good stuff that nothing's going to be able to break you down. It's awesome.
So what would you say it would be your third tip?
Okay, so the third tip would be to clean out your pantry. So like I said, you can't have one part of health and not the other. So if you're a very peaceful person, but you eat McDonald's all day long, you're going to be unhealthy. But if you're a very healthy person and you're stressed out all the time, you're not going to be healthy either. So health is all encompassing. It's not just one little portion. So my main thing is teaching people how to eat healthy, but not in a way that's going to stress them out so badly that they feel like they've lost before they've even started. Many, many people's problem is that they don't know how to eat healthy, and that's why they don't do it. So what I would say is to clean out your pantry. If you're looking to lose some weight, if you're looking to boost your immune system, boost your health, boost your mood, clean out your pantry. You want to get rid of all processed foods. And when I say all, I don't mean like every single one of them. I just mean like the super processed ones, the ones that are in packages and have the ingredient list this long.
Yeah. You can't even pronounce.
Yes, that's like rule number one. If you can't pronounce it, you should not be eating it. I always tell people that because people don't know. They're like, okay, well, what ingredients should I avoid? And I'm like, well, I could tell you all day long what not to eat, but if you just can't pronounce it, then don't eat it. Go for the whole foods as much as possible. Shop around the perimeter of the store as much as possible because that's where the fresh foods live usually. And if it doesn't have a label, that's good. Or if it has one or two ingredients, that's good. But for the most part, you should just be eating whole natural foods as much as you can. Avoid artificial flavors, artificial sugars, artificial sweeteners, things like that. No like artificial colors. Do not even go near those things because they're actually carcinogenic and they cause cancer. So you don't want to be consuming things that have red number 50 or blue number whatever or yellow whatever. Don't eat it.
Kind of like the little meltdowns we have at the end of the day. We feel so tired. We feel like the sky is falling. It could be just because we're eating junk. And our brain is like, we've had such a sugar high. Now we don't know what to do with ourselves because it's just toxins.
That's exactly what it is, actually. That's exactly what it is. It's you're filling your body with stuff all day long. And then when you come down from that high, you're like, what do I do? And your brain wants more.
And then you think, well, I feel terrible, and then the mental thing kicks in, right? Because we start beating ourselves up from something that's a
Exactly.
simple fix.
Exactly. And actually, sleep gets disrupted because of it. And if you can't go to sleep properly, if you have insomnia or you're, falling asleep for a little bit and waking up, then you're not going through the restorative process that we talked about with sleep. And then therefore, you're not burning your fat. You're not preparing or repairing your brain properly. So you're waking up stressed out, and it's just a big cycle. So this is all these tips that I'm giving you is a cycle of health. It's not just one tip over here, one tip over here. It's like this is where you start and this is where you end. So, and in addition to cutting out the artificial things, obviously just drink more water, as much water as you can. But the rule of thumb is half your body weight in ounces of water per day. And that should be how much water you're drinking every day to properly flush your system, properly hydrate your system. Do not drink soda. Do not drink artificial sweetener drinks like Gatorade and whatever else. I don't know, things like that.
And all those kind of things that kind of just put yourself in a state of stress. Because, that's what I find is like a vicious cycle with stress, right? You feel like you're not getting enough sleep, so you're tired, so you grab the coffee. Not that I have anything against coffee, but if it's relying...
No, I love coffee.
Yeah, if you're relying on it, then it becomes a problem. Then it's easy to grab the sugary snacks, but then you have the downer, and then you feel tired, and then you get cranky, and then you yell at the kids, and then the husband walks in, and why isn't dinner? And then it's like a whole hot mess. So exactly. I do love the fact is that you can start your day off with just 5 minutes, and baby steps. You don't have to be doing this overnight. Just give yourself one little win.
That's what I always tell people. I say not to stress out because, us moms are already stressed out. We're stressed out all the time, right? We're the last person we think of is ourselves always. So I always tell people, if you want to take care of your kids, show them that you're taking care of yourself, because that is going to help them see that mom is important. Your own person is important. It's important to take care of yourself. It's good to serve other people and it's good to help, but you can't pour from an empty cup, and you have to be filling yourself back up in order to give to somebody else. So if people feel guilty about taking the time for themselves, they can't, because in order to be a good mom, in order to be not crazy and losing your mind constantly, you have got to take care of yourself. So
you can't give away what you don't have, right? If you don't have the energy and if you don't have the health and wellness, excuse my throat, I've also been trying to get over these things, but good old-fashioned ginger and water has been really awesome.
Yes.
But again, if you're sick and you're out of commission, you can't help anybody else. So it's vital, and that's why I totally love about the whole idea of this holistic health. And even though I know that word gets a bad name because there's a lot of new agey things that have sort of laid claim to that, but it really is God made us spirit, soul, and body, and He's meant for us to work together. You can't just work on one and ignore the other. It all works together. So I really appreciate you sharing all your info. Tell everyone how they can find you and how they can get in touch.
Okay, cool. So I have my Instagram is instagram.com/the healthy happy mommy. My Facebook is the same, facebook.com/the healthy happy mommy. I have a book. If you go to thehealthyhappymommy.com/book, you can grab that on Amazon. And my podcast, if you just go into iTunes and type in the Healthy Happy Mommy podcast, it will come up. So as long as you remember the Healthy Happy Mommy, you're pretty much covered.
Well, I appreciate that. That's why I said it's like you pretty much are encompassing the brand and everything. And as I said, definitely go check out our Instagram feed. That's what really got me hooked. Was like, oh, this is so cool. And your photos and your branding and your tips are just really awesome. Nickilee has kindly donated her morning routine checklist. Make sure to go to mimikacooney.com and click on the Summit tab to download this free PDF gift, along with the other gifts our speakers have donated to our Summit series. But I have to say, thanks so much for making the time. And as I said, again, we've had technical issues and voice issues, but we will prevail.
Yes, the message is going to get out regardless.
It's going to get out there no matter what, and the Lord knows He's working in a lot of our lives, and if we just put God first and know that, we rely on Him for our strength, we don't have to be perfect, because we can never be perfect. And we just we ask for help, which is why I love what you're doing. If you need the help, somebody like Nickilee is going to help you. So that's why you want to reach out to her. And in order to take the next steps, because that's the whole idea, is to really unlock what's within you, your purpose and potential by taking those first steps. So I just say thanks again for joining us. Until the next time, take care. Become a partner and join the Mimika TV family today.